everybody, welcome back to my channel. Chris Gault here. I am the author of My Journey to the Fountain of Youth, which is a book you can get on Amazon that has a lot of great tips on how to look and feel as young as possible. And what I'm going to go over today are some healthy living tips for busy people. I mean, you're busy, I'm busy, we're all busy. It's very hard to find time to stay healthy, but we need to find that time because it's very important. Our bodies are our most important asset that we have, because if we don't have health, we don't have anything. So let's get right to it. And before we get into the tips, make sure you subscribe to my channel and ring the bell. That way you'll be notified for all this great content that's coming your way. So let's get started. Let's get to tip number one. So tip number one is to get exercise whenever you can. I mean, we all can get exercise in. We don't have to go to the gym necessarily. We don't have to go put on our running clothes and go run. There are other ways that we can do it. So if you're going to the grocery store, don't park right next to the store, near the handicap spots. Leave that for people who might need that. And what you want to do is park as far away as possible. I always park as far, the last possible spot. It's very easy because no one parks there. But if you do, and you could walk into the supermarket and come back, or the grocery store, then you're going to be much better off because you're going to get that exercise. And if you're trying to track your steps, and I know the magical number seems to be 10,000 steps, this would be helpful to get to those 10,000 steps. The other thing is, if you're at your desk, go ahead and stretch out at your desk. You can stand up and work at your desk when you're standing. There are a lot of options where you can get stand-up desks where you actually do stand up. It doesn't hurt if you want to do some jumping jacks for a minute. Take a couple minutes here and there to do some exercise in your office. That will save some time. And the last thing is, don't take the elevator if you don't have to. Obviously, if you're in New York City and you're on the 80th floor, you're probably going to have to take the elevator. But if you're in a building and it's like 3, 4, or 5 stories up, definitely take the steps instead of just taking the elevator. You can really work your legs that way. You're going to get the heart pumping. So it's a great overall exercise you can get in while you're just going to work. So here's a few things you can do. So again, just whatever you can, find time to get some exercise in, and you can do it almost anywhere. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, this is feeling good. So let's move on to tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to evaluate your time. I mean, there really is actually a lot of time in the day, and a lot of us get busy, and then we start doing things that take up a lot of time, and they are really non-value added, like watching TV. And I know a lot of us, we do watch more TV than we should. So instead of doing that, maybe instead of watching 4 hours of TV, maybe you watch 3 hours of TV. In that hour, you can go do something healthy, maybe work out or walk the dog. Do something that's going to be better for your body than watching TV. The other thing is, we really get involved with our smartphones. It's almost an epidemic. I mean, wherever I go, all I see is people with their faces in their phone, whether they're even walking down the street or they're at a restaurant. Everyone's on their phone. And you can play on social media, you can look at all sorts of stuff, but the reality is all that is not going to necessarily give you a healthy life. So what I would recommend is not stopping at cold turkey, because that would be ridiculous in this day and age. But what I would recommend is to limit as much as you can how much time you're on Facebook and Instagram and all that. Spend a little bit of time on there, but really look at how much time you are on the phone doing those kind of activities, and you'll find you're probably doing way more than you should. And you could save a lot of time if you just limit what you do. And what some people do actually is block out time to say, okay, this is going to be my Facebook time, and I'm going to go on and do all my Facebook stuff, and then I'm not going to jump on it the rest of the day. And I would definitely recommend doing that. Oh my God, I've been on this for 3 hours. So let's move on to tip number 3. Tip number 3 is to do meal prep. at the beginning of the week. So on Sundays, my wife and I, we go to the grocery store, we get all our groceries, we come back, we cut up our vegetables for the whole week. So that way, if I want to make a salad or I want to put them in a smoothie, they're already chopped up and I can use them for anything. The other thing is a lot of people do is they will cook meals for 2 or 3, 4 days in a row. Typically I will cook for 2 days in a row, and so I will just have that food ready, already prepared in the refrigerator. I know some people have actually prepared all their lunches and all their dinners for the whole week, and so they've just got all these trays in there. They just take out, they pop it in the microwave for a few minutes, and the food's ready. And they've got lunch and dinner, and they can make a healthy dinner and lunch because they know what's going to go into that product. They know what they can put in it that actually is going to be healthy for them, and it's all set up so that, hey, when you're rolling out that door on Monday, you just grab and go, and you don't have to worry about taking time to make dinner or lunch every day. So as an example, this is how we prep our vegetables. We cut them all up and put them in these bags, and that way we have them for salads or for other parts of our dinner. I put them in smoothies, but this is one way that you could prep some stuff for the whole week, and you don't have to sit there and chop vegetables on multiple days. So that's tip number 3. Let's move on to tip number 4. So I actually put a video out on what vitamins and minerals that I take every day, or supplements that I take every day. I highly recommend everyone take. I recommend that you will look at the video that I have, you can see what I take, but I highly recommend that people take vitamins and minerals, because sometimes when we're really busy, we don't have time to go get a big nutritious meal, and maybe we eat something that's not as nutritious as it should be. And one of the problems with that, if you go grab a burger someplace, is you're not getting all the vitamins and minerals. So it's very good to actually take the supplements, and that way you ensure, it's like an insurance policy for your body, that you're actually getting these great benefits of the vitamins in if you happen to miss something. It's always better to get it from the food, obviously, but again, if you're really busy and you can't always get a good nutritious meal all the time, then it's good to take vitamins and minerals, again, as an insurance policy, to make sure you're still getting the recommended daily vitamins and minerals and supplements in. You guys, I really love you guys. So that's tip number 4. Let's move on to the last one, and my favorite, tip number 5. So when I used to work a corporate job, I really got into a lot of trouble because I overbooked myself all the time, and I wasn't really good about blocking out time for me to actually get work done. I was actually a senior director, and I ran a division, and so I was very busy all the time, people interrupting me. So I learned a little trick, and what that trick was is to block out time on my calendar, because everyone has calendars, whether it be Google calendars or Outlook calendars or whatever. Most meetings are done with a calendar, and people can see where you have time open and where you don't. And so what I started to do, just so I can get stuff done, is I would actually put on my calendar that, you know, this block of from like 2 to 3, I had something going on. And that way nobody would plug a meeting into that time. And so that way I would, during that time, that 2 to 3, I was able to get my work done. So what I would recommend, because we're all busy and we do get tied up, and then all of a sudden, you know, we're getting bombarded with people coming in, is to block time off on your calendar and really abide by it. Don't say, oh, you know what, I blocked this off, but you know, you really need to see me, then open. Don't do that, because you'll defeat the whole purpose. And so make sure you block some time off and make sure you fulfill that time. And block. So those are my 5 tips for busy people to lead a healthy life. And the reason why this will lead a healthy life is because it will also be able to allow you to just get the stress out of your body. If you do block out some time for yourself, then you could just kind of de-stress out and just relax. And you know, you need a healthy mind to have a healthy body. You need both, and that will definitely help you get there. So anyway, those are the tips, and I will see you in the next video. See you. If you like this video, please click on the thumbs up button, and also please subscribe and click on the notification button to get all this great content that's coming up every week. Thank you.